Salutations, boys and girls and kiddos of all ages. Hey, I simply refuse to start the show without giving all my returning viewers, subscribers, and new viewers a little love and respect and acknowledgement. So thank you all for coming here and joining me here at Posing Action Figures with Toy the Poser. With me, your host, Toy the Poser. And for those who don't know this already, this is when I say this is not your average toy review channel, just a simple showcasing of all the things I like to collect in the form of action figures and toys. So without further ado, how about I just hop behind the camera there into giant mode and we can get the show going. Whoop, whoop. And here you can see upon our rotating rotator, we have another action figure from Marvel Legends and the execution of Build-A-Figure wave. We have the Dark Avengers Spider-Man. It's not the Spider-Man that you're thinking of. So as you can see, it's a 6-armed black suited Spider-Man, but we'll get into it to show you exactly what he is. That's the side of the box. That's the front of the box. That's the other side of the box. And this is the top of the box. All right. And this is the bottom of the box. For those that like boxes, the back that gives you a small, brief little, I guess, bio of our Dark Avengers Spider-Man. Does it even say? Oh, it does say his name. It says Ai Apaec, or whatever his name is. And of course, our Build-A-Figure is the Executioner, Scourge the Executioner. Wolverine didn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, but I didn't need him anyway. Who needs more Wolverines? Not me. Iron Man Mark 72 armor. Did a video on that. This is our main attraction of the day, the Dark Avengers Spider-Man. Warbow, we did a video on them. Werewolf by Night, yes, we did a video on him. Enchantress, we did a video on her. And after this video, only person left would be Phantom Rider. Okay, now let's there we go. Okay, magical poof him out of this box and let's get going. So magical poof. All right. So does he stand up out of the pack? No, he doesn't. Okay. But he comes with the right leg and foot of the Executioner Build-A-Figure. So we're just gonna go ahead and put that on him now. Okay. So with the little snapperooski, did it snapper? Where is it? What? I haven't been getting my satisfying, snaps and things when you plug things in. All right, but it's in there. Okay, so yes, as you can see, we got one more piece to go. All right, so to the side with you, sir. All right. Okay. Alternate hands. Although he has 6 arms, and you would think that he would come with 6 set of hands, but no, we only get 2. This thing is dark, isn't it? Okay, let's see if I can do something about that, but probably not. Okay, but yeah, it's the open palm wall crawling hands, as we call them. So yeah, that's that, and it's a left and a right, but it really doesn't matter because he already came stock with a left and a right wall crawling hand anyway. The rest are fist and an alternate head. Okay, so with just smaller eyes, which I think I'm gonna try to. I don't know. I just rather, because for those that don't know me by now, I hate collecting multiple figures of characters that I already have. And you would think that if you didn't know any better, this is Peter Parker in a Venom costume that is with his six arms, and as Spider-Man, but it is not. It is a totally different person. So that's why I switched from the less of the Spider-Man looking heads, or the less Spider-Man looking mask that looks more Spider-Man-y to me, than to this guy. And who is this guy, you say? Well, he is going to be hard to pose. And it's funny because although he's not on the Marvel Legends gave us a regular six-arm Spider-Man before, and it sucked. Okay. I don't care what nobody says. That thing sucked. So, but they made another version of him later and gave him this type of articulation where it just like his diaphragm shown. But yeah, I still think they should have put like a little waist swivel or ab crunch in there. But hey, I mean, I don't know the ingenuity or something like that when it comes to making a six action figure. So there you have it. But yeah, they gave us a six-arm Spider-Man before. Nope, nobody liked it the first time. People kind of was cool with the second version of him, the upgraded version of him from then. But once again, like I said, I was like, it really didn't bother me, because even when I got the first six-arm Spider-Man, I was like, I'm not going to use this thing anyway. So he became fodder pieces for a lot of customized action figures. And this one's going to be kind of tricky for me to put him in a pose, so I'm not going to waste your time right now trying to figure it out. Besides, I'm still being delicate. He has boot swivel. Will you look at that? And then on top of that, my lighting in my camera is acting wonky right now. So we're gonna just go ahead and put them in a pre-pose. Heat your action figures before you try to pose them, kiddos. You don't want to break nothing. But yeah, we're gonna find a cold pose to put him in and put him on a rotating rotator right now. Whoop. Okay, guys, I have to be kind of honest with you on this one. Really didn't know what I was going for here, but this is what came out. Yeah, didn't think this was, for some odd reason, I thought posing a six-arm action figure would be a lot easier, but it was a little bit more challenging than I thought, especially when you're trying to, I guess, get him in a more character defined in pose. So basically something Spider-Man-esque, if you will. But yeah, so who is this guy? Let's see who this guy is, because I know you heard me say a million times that this is not Peter Parker, Spider-Man. All right, so who is he? I'll tell you who he is. First appearing in Evil Incarnated Osborn issue number 1 in 2010, created by Kelly Sue Karosnik or something like that. And hold on, let me double check. Yes, Kelly Sue DeConnick and Emma Rios, and I'm probably still screwing their names up horribly. But anyway, but first appearing in Evil Incarnated Osborn issue number 1 as the Decapitator. Ai Apaec, and no, he's not from, well, this version of we're talking about is not from Earth 1771. I only wanted to say that is because there is when I could find the best picture of him as in his normal form. But Ai Apaec was a god, half spider and half human with snakes for hair, that was worshipped in South America and Peru or something like that. And he was known for bloodletting and cruel torturing his victims. Well, one day, the U.S. government captured him. For what reason, I don't know, but he was taken and held in a special containment center somewhere in America and was imprisoned with other highly powerful supervillains. One of those supervillains was Norman Osborn. And yes, this is the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn. But I think at this time, he wasn't quote unquote technically the Green Goblin. He was imprisoned for something else because some kind of crimes he did when he formed an organization called Hammer. All right. But moving on, he was in prison in there with Norman Osborn. Well, one day during a prison break, Norman Osborn looked at Ai Apaec, I hope, and a couple of other imprisoned inmates, and said that convinced them to basically break out and leave with him. Well, while they was escaping, and for some reason, in some way or the other, they had acquired a submarine. All right, and all those escaped prisoners with Norman Osborn got into the submarine, but for somehow the prison containment center exploded, and it also damaged the submarine that everyone was in. Ai Apaec himself escaped the submarine, but right before everyone else died, he basically encased the entire damaged submarine in webbing, protecting it, and also giving it enough oxygen so it can go to the surface. That's where the other prisoners was apprehended. They was captured. But Ai Apaec himself actually escaped, and he went back to his homeland, or where he was from, in Peru or somewhere like that, somewhere in South America. I don't know, but he went back to where he came from. Everybody else got captured. Now, sometimes a little bit later, Norman Osborn ended up escaping the prison again, and wherever they was special containment center that they was keeping these supervillains in again, and he ended up escaping. And when he escaped, he decided to reform a new group again. And of course, not to put too fine of a point on it, this new group was called the Dark Avengers. They for reasons I don't know why, but and Norman Osborn was the leader of the Dark Avengers, and this group consisted of members of Scar, the son of Hulk. Yes, that Scar, and yes, that Incredible Hulk, his son. And why he was there, I don't know, but moving on. Charles Barton was going by the name either Hawkeye or Trickshot, and Charles Barton is the brother of Clint Barton, the original Hawkeye, or the first Hawkeye, or the Hawkeye we all know and love. Okay. So after Charles, then came Tomi Shishido, and I don't know much about him, but I think he's more of a Wolverine foe than anything. But anywho, after him, we ended up with the clone of Thor, or the cyborg of Thor, called Ragnarok. And if you were a dum dum like me and missed out on the Ragnarok action figure, and I think it was a Walmart exclusive, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, we did get a Ragnarok action figure, but I didn't get it. So yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to find them again, I think. But oh well, till then. But after Ragnarok, the next member on the team was Deidre Warped, better known as Supera. And Supera was basically the team's version of Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. But also, the Dark Avengers had a person named June Covington, and also known as Toxie Doxie. And Toxie Doxie was the team's version of the Scarlet Witch. So, go get yourself another Scarlet Witch action figure until they make us a Toxie Doxie action figure. And if they do, let's hope that they make her look more like her traditional or recent costume than the Scarlet Witch costume. But we know that's a far cry. Stretch for that to happen. But last but not least, after Toxie Doxie, the team's version of Scarlet Witch, that's just when we get Norman Osborn turning Ai Apaec into a 6-armed version of Spider-Man, basically. So why Spider-Man? I don't know. Didn't have to do that. But hey, that's what they chose to go with. So Ai Apaec is the Dark Avengers team version of Spider-Man. And that's when, a year later from when he was first created, Ai Apaec was first created. In issue 10 of the new Dark Avengers, you got the Dark Avengers Spider-Man, who was Ai Apaec. And due to the fact that he is basically a god or spiritual being or whatever, something like that, I feel like, once again, this little power grid don't really illustrate how strong and powerful this character is. Because not only does Ai Apaec have the strength to easily rip a human being in half as easily as it is for you or I to snap a pencil, he's also strong enough to lift it up to about 25 tons. And of course, along with all the other things that come with being a super being, like enhanced speed, durability. He can also has, reflexes, superhuman reflexes, and agility. But that should have been a no-brainer due to the fact that he basically is a Spider-Man person. But he also is technically immortal. But when we say he's immortal, it basically mostly means he can't really die from, I guess, conventional ways like human diseases or anything like that. Because at one time, I think he was shrunken down with PEM particles, and June Covington, the team's version of the Scarlet Witch, she stepped on him and crushed him. They didn't say if that was the thing that did he die from that or whatever, because it really doesn't matter, because if he didn't, he does have a regenerative healing factor. So there you go. And oh yeah, because he is a Spider-Man person, he also can cling to walls, and he can shoot organic webbing, and his organic webbing can do things like wrap itself in a cocoon or something like that, to a point where he can plunge deep down into water and survive. Okay, so there you go. I mean, he's not a cream puff type of villain. But anywho, whoop whoop whoop. Okay, I don't know exactly how to really make him stand in a vanilla pose with 6 arms and things, but we're gonna try it this way. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna adjust them as we go along. But representing the 136 scale action figure size, we have the Herbie from the Toy Biz Fantastic Four Marvel Legends multi-pack, and Herbie stands approximately 2 inches tall, the average 136 scale size. And representing the average 1/18 scale size, we have the Xenostrike 3-minute project model kit, who I like to call a waist-high ninja guy, Gary for short. And Gary stands approximately 3 3/4 inches tall, the average 1/18 scale action figure size. And representing the 1/12 scale action figure size, we have Stan the man, my main man, Stan, the Hasbro Marvel Legends Stan Lee action figure, who stands approximately 6 inches tall, the average 1/12 scale action figure size. And by the way things look, it looked like those guys are same height. And or maybe Stan is slightly bigger, but we'll find out later. And because after we find out who representing the 1/10 scale action figure size, we have the not a homebody action figure, who I like to call Buck, the bigger figure. Oh yeah. And Buck stands at approximately 7 inches tall, the average 1/10 scale action figure size. So that means Mr. Ai Apaec stands approximately, it kind of looks like 6 1/4. What do you guys think? Here, let me adjust the camera to see if you can find out. Okay, just slightly under 6 1/4 to me. So that pretty much means that Mr. Ai Apaec is not comic book accurate, because I think in his humanoid form, which is this form, he's supposed to be standing 6 feet 7 inches tall. So yeah, missed it by a couple of inches. Anywho, whoop, whoop, whoop. And that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. So, cause I surely did. So, Mr. Ai Apaec, Ai Apaec, Apacu, dude, I'm sorry. Am I even close to getting your name right? Whoop. Oh well. To be completely honest with you, spiders give me the creeps. Ugh. But hey, he's gone now, and so am I. And you should go too. You don't know where to go, you say? Well, here's some advice I'm going to give you that my mother would give me when I said I had nowhere to go. Go somewhere and play. Okay, guys. See you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.